Asexual reproduction in lower organisms. At the end of this topic, you will be able to analyze the merits and demerits of asexual reproduction, discuss the types of asexual reproduction occurring in lower organisms. Asexual reproduction has both advantages and disadvantages. Let us discuss the merits and demerits of asexual reproduction. Merits. Only one parent is involved, and all the offsprings are identical to their parent. This property is exploited by the humans to produce strains of organisms with desired characters. Demerits. Since the genetic variation is negligible, the risk of extinction of a species becomes greater.
Asexual reproduction. When new individuals are produced from a single parent without involving the fusion of gametes, it is known as asexual reproduction. It occurs chiefly in lower animals and in plants. In this mode of reproduction, certain body cells of the organism undergo repeated mitotic divisions. That is, they produce two or more individuals which are identical like that of the parent. Asexual reproduction occurs in various ways, namely fission, budding, spore formation, regeneration, and vegetative propagation. Fission is a type of asexual reproduction occurring in some unicellular organisms such as amoeba, in which the parent cell divides to form two or more similar daughter cells. Budding is a kind of asexual reproduction in which a new individual develops as a bud and gets detached from the body of the parent. It is common in coelentrates such as Hydra. It also occurs in some sponges and other invertebrates. Spore formation is the most common type of asexual reproduction in a majority of fungi and bacteria. During spore formation, a structure called sporangium develops from the fungal hypha. The nucleus divides several times within the sporangium, and each nucleus, with a bit of cytoplasm, develops into a spore. The matured spores are liberated, and they develop into a new hyphae after reaching the ground or substratum. Regeneration is the growth of new tissues or organs to replace those lost or damaged by injury. Some planarians and sponges can regenerate whole organisms from small pieces, but in mammals, the regeneration is largely restricted to wound healing. Vegetative propagation is a form of asexual reproduction in plants whereby new individuals develop from specialized multicellular structures that get detached from the parent plant.
Let us now discuss the types of asexual reproduction in different organisms, starting with fission. This method of reproduction is commonly found in unicellular organisms like bacteria and euglena. Let us take bacteria as an example to discuss the fission. During fission, the parent cell elongates and is subjected to mitotic division. Nucleus of the parent cell elongates and divides into two equal halves. A constriction appears from the cell wall towards the center, dividing the cytoplasm. The constriction grows deeper and deeper, and once complete, it divides the cytoplasm. This process of division of a single parent cell into two daughter cells is called binary fission. The most common type of asexual reproduction found in yeast is budding. Let us see the steps involved in the formation of budding in yeast. The cell wall of the vegetative cell becomes thin at the corner, forming a soft zone. Slowly, this soft zone protrudes and bulges out into a small bud. Nucleus of the parent cell undergoes mitotic division and is divided into two equal halves. One of the nuclei will enter into the bud. A constriction starts to appear between the parent cell and the bud. The constriction grows deeper and finally the bud pinches off into a daughter cell. The parent cell continues this process to produce a chain of buds which can grow into new yeast cells.
In Hydra, a bud develops as an outgrowth due to repeated cell division at one specific site. These buds develop into tiny individuals and when fully mature gets detached from the parent body to become new independent individuals. Similarly, buds produced in the notches along the leaf margin of Bryophyllum fall on the soil and develop into new plants.
Sporulation is a common type of asexual reproduction found in fungi. It is the process of formation of spores. The type of spore is different in different species of fungi. Penicillium reproduces by conidiospores and Mucor reproduces by sporangiospores. Let us see the reproducing structures and method of sporulation in Mucor. The plant body of Mucor is mycelium. Mycelium is made of thread-like structures called hyphae. During sporulation, some of the hyphae grow erect and produce a sac-like structure called sporangium at their tips. The nucleus of sporangia undergoes several mitotic divisions to produce a large number of spores called sporangiospores. When the wall layer of sporangium breaks, these sporangiospores are liberated. Sporangiospores are microscopic, unicellular, and reproductive units that germinate into new vegetative hyphae of Mucor. Fragmentation is the simplest type of asexual reproduction that occurs in lower organisms. Hyphae of the fungal mycelium divide into many fragments. These fragments reach a suitable substratum. Under favorable conditions, these fragments give rise to a new individual organism. In this topic you have learnt binary fission is commonly found in lower organisms such as bacteria and euglena. Yeast reproduces asexually by budding. Mycelium is made of thread-like structures called hyphae. Sporangiospores are microscopic, unicellular, and reproductive units of Mucor. Fragmentation is another method of asexual reproduction that occurs in fungi.